Well, hello and welcome to the Tao Manifesting Tarot, the audio edition. This is the Manifesting Tarot reading that does a couple of things. First of all, helps improve your imagination because all we have is this one image on the screen. That's it. No visuals, just this. You're seeing the whole tarot spread for today. That's important because it allows you to focus on the message. You can close your eyes, get into kind of a meditative state. But no matter, over a period of a few minutes, your imagination is going to start to fill in the pictures as I describe the cards. That's what we want. That creates better manifestation. The other thing, it's great for people who like to multitask. You know, you want to get up, get a cup of coffee or tea or soup or salad or sandwich or whatever. Don't make any difference. You can do it. Just listen. Because remember, the minute that you take your eyes off of any computer screen, whatever's on the screen has now virtually disappeared in terms of your mind's eye. It becomes an audio. It's no longer a video. So we just skip the middleman. We go right to audio. That makes you a much better manifester. It allows you to dig deeper into your subconscious, creates a much better, more powerful reading for you, and that's the point. So you see here two rows, bottom row, upper row. The middle cards in both rows are critical. We begin the bottom row with the Oracle card of Flexible. Pretty impressive she is, no doubt about it. Pretty impressive. And the number up in the upper right-hand corner is 19. 1 and 9 is 10. So this is the beginning stage of being flexible, I guess. You know, it's interesting because when I first looked at this card, there are a couple of ways that you could go with this thing. You could say you could bend, not break, and that would fit. But today, this reading hits me, this card particularly hits me as an oracle card, very much like the Hanged Man. What she's getting is being flexible, no question about it, but she's getting a different point of view, just like the Hanged Man. That's critical. That's absolutely critical. Stop and think for a minute. Here you see her on the card. Imagine what she would be looking at if she were standing on, looks like an egg, or standing straight up. It'd be a very different view, right? So that's why this card reminds me of the Hanged Man card. That's what you're doing. You are trying to get a new view because the one that you've had for who knows how long, I am sure at least the last 3 years, if not your entire life, has given you a certain perspective that you assumed was correct, was true for you. You're not so sure. You're not so sure. So at this point, you are saying, okay, let me get a different view of the same situation. Let me look at it from a different angle. And it's appropriate because we got a big lunar thing going on. I don't know if it's a full moon or new moon. I think it's a full moon coming up, I think, on the 21st, 22nd. Pluto's entering Aquarius. Saturn is entering Pisces. There's a whole bunch of other stuff going on. It's a very, very, very powerful time. So the idea of changing your perspective is totally appropriate. A lot of things. Oh, hey, we got the equinox too. I forgot that. So, I mean, everything is pointing to change. Pluto into Aquarius, Saturn into Pisces, the equinox, the full moon. Everything is pointing towards change. So you do need a new view, and that means that you have to be flexible on some level. That also means that you're going to have to make a decision. The Two of Swords. Swords are thoughts, ideas. You have to make a choice. It's not immediately. You see the moon up in the card there, so there may be a lunar cycle involved. I think we're heading into eclipse season too, not that far down the road. But you'll have to make a decision. You'll have to choose. And what you're going to have to choose is the Nine of Cups energy. Nine of Cups is fulfillment. It's satisfaction. It's getting what you want. You're not there. That's why you need the new view. You got to figure out, okay, if I can't get there from here, how do I get there? New view. So you have to make a choice, and your choice will be, how do I make myself happy. And I don't mean artificially or superficially happy. You know, with more things. If I just buy this, it'll change my life. If I just have this, it'll change my life. You have to change you. You have to change you. Question is, how are you going to get there? You got the juju. The magician card says that you got the juju, no question about it. You have power, you have purpose, you're resourceful, and you're determined. The last 3 years for most people has been very, very difficult. They've been very, very difficult. And the reason is we have been confronted with everything in our lives that we have been taught being virtually tossed out the window. Doesn't make any difference. Could be railroads falling over and spilling toxic stuff. Could be banks falling over, toxic stuff. Could be a war in Europe, toxic stuff. Could be us now, we're talking about invading Mexico. Could be toxic stuff. Could be a whole bunch of things. Things that you never thought about as you were growing up. Things that you thought you could depend on. And you're finding out that you can't. That's why you need the new view. That's why you need that different perspective. That's why you need the Two of Swords to make a choice for your happiness. You need to pool all of your resources. You're more powerful than you think you are. Number 6, Pentacles. Last card, bottom row. That's reciprocity. Pentacles are things that we value. Don't just think money, but things that are valuable to us. And the 6 of Pentacles is generosity, abundance. But remember, pentacles are things that we value. So don't just think dollars and cents. And in fact, if you take a look at what's going on with the banking industry right now, if you're thinking dollars and cents, you aren't even in the game. Our whole dollar and cents thing is about to change drastically. The question is it going to help us or hurt us? Based on history, it's not going to help us. So you have to reevaluate your life. You have to say, hey, what the heck is important to me and why is it important? No matter what else comes down the road, how can I empower myself to not only survive, but thrive? And if you're playing the things game, everything's about to change. You know it, you feel it, and that's what scares you. That's why you need the different perspective. That's why you need to be flexible. That's why you need the new view. Second row, first card, the Sun. You have what you need to move ahead. You see things clearly right now. And because of that, you can put yourself in a place where you can succeed at making your life fit you better. You can have a sense of abundance. Abundance does not mean necessarily having gobs of money. We've seen what that gobs of money thing really means. It doesn't mean anything. Money is just some fig Newton of some person's imagination. It could be paper, it could be whatever. You know, a lot of people running to gold. Oh, gold, gold, gold. You know what? That can mean nothing either. Because even if you were to buy gold, let's say we had some sort of a severe crash, which I think we're right on the verge of. Who says that gold is going to be valuable? Are you going to go to the grocery store and say, here's a chunk of gold? How do you know what that chunk of gold is worth? Well, they said it was. They said it was. That doesn't mean it is anymore. So you have to have a deep sense of self-worth. You have to have your own deep sense of values. What makes life work for you? One way to do that, 3 of Cups. Blend mind, body, spirit. Love yourself, respect yourself, believe in yourself, trust your gut. Take all that information that you're feeling and make a nice commitment to yourself. But that's going to mean that you have to be flexible. You're going to have to find that new view. One thing that will help you tremendously is judgment. That's the next card. It's an awakening. It's a rebirth. It's an inner calling. It is a new perspective because what you're doing is looking at the past, comparing it to what you have now, and projecting into the future. Now, projecting into the future at this point is really a crapshoot. You got to roll the dice. And even then, that's no guarantee. Everything, and I mean everything, is up for grabs. Our economy, our government, our chances of continuing on as humanity are up for grabs. Everything is on the brink. You can see things clearly. You can feel things clearly with the sun energy. The Three of Cups says you blend your mind, body, spirit. The Judgment card says take the past, move it into the present, compare those two and figure out what you probably are going to have to do. But it's going to be an internal thing. It's going to be a personal thing. It's not going to be somebody else telling you what's important. You have to determine that for you. And that's what the Four of Pentacles is all about. Again, pentacles are things that are valuable to you personally. You have to find them and you got to hold on to them. Because right now, what's really, really, really important is to have your own set of values. The value of everything else and anything else is up for grabs right now. Up for grabs. Peace, prosperity, possibility, up for grabs. You know that. You feel it. That's what makes you scared. That's what's forcing you to be flexible to get this new view. So what you're preparing to do, you're not doing it right yet. What you're preparing to do, we have the reverse Seven of Swords in the vice versa card. And reversal means not that you're not going to get it or be affected by it. It means it's an internal process. And the Seven of Swords says very simply that you have experienced theft, loss. You were treated in an unfair and underhanded way. You're now aware of it, and you're taking 5 of the 7 swords, the things that you believe are true for you, and you're moving on. That's what the 7 of Swords is all about. He could stay and play, but he doesn't. I mean, he's got 2 swords right next to him. He could take those too, but he doesn't because they're not true. They're not valuable. They're not worthwhile to him. They don't mean anything. They're not worth anything. And now he knows the difference. He's going to take the stuff that means good things for him, good value system, good thinking, and leave, quit playing. But to do that, you got to have a new view. You have to see things from a different angle. That's why I said at the beginning, this card, this being flexible card, reminded me very much of the Hanged Man, because that's exactly what the whole thing is about. That's the energy. Look at your life from an entirely different point of view. Maybe uncomfortable at first, but I think it's going to be vital, and I think it's going to be essential for you in the near future, and long term too. So there you go. That's the reading for today. Another new one tomorrow, because I do a brand new reading every day, 365. Hope you're here with me. If not, between now and the next time we have a chance to get together, do tarot together. Peace and blessings.